Balake. Where is Balake at?
My name's Blake.
Do you want to go to war, Balake? I'm for real. Ron.
Ron is back with the one and only, the lovely, relatable Reese. I guess I should put our names up here. Bada boom.
Aaron, can you still hear me?
Yes, the microphone is working, at least for now.
Guys, I miss Aaron so much, and we didn't even know, but look, we're both wearing black t-shirts today.
Look. Yes. My more recent viewers will not know that before we had the black button-down era, we had the black V-neck t-shirt epoch. And I didn't even intentionally mean to go live with this, but I forgot I was wearing a t-shirt. I hope it's okay, everybody.
You're doing the Lord's work. Aaron, I really missed you, and you didn't miss me, and it makes a difference.
That is not true. That is a hateful, vicious, bigoted lie. It's only been a week and a half.
I know, but it feels longer, and people are reminding me, and they're like, "We miss you and Aaron." I'm like, Aaron's too big for me now. He doesn't care.
You're traveling. Don't blame me.
Gaslighting you.
Are you in yet another hotel room over there?
Yeah, I'm in St. Louis, and It's awful. It's awful. I just want to go home. But I'll be home Tuesday morning, so we're going to be back in the swing of things, and you better be willing to do it every once in a while.
Of course. We were trying to do every other day, but then when we were doing those audio recordings, we were going every day. People keep asking, are there any more audio recordings? Or are we done for now?
No, I think I have one more. I just need to go through and listen to it and make sure that it's relevant. But yeah, I've got, I think, one more, guys. Those were fun. I wish I had a lot more.
Oh my God.
Somebody's going to come out with some though.
And I hope people will send us their own recordings. All of you under the radars out there, all you under the radars, please, as long as it's legal in your state, record as many phone calls as you can from registrars, chaplains, ethics officers, call-in officers, bookstore officers. I think the people outside of the bubble in the real world are fascinated to see like in real life, in real time, the kind of things being discussed that we all talk about in our videos, but sometimes it can be hard to believe.
Yeah, those were really, people loved those recordings. Guys, even if it's illegal in your state, just fly to another state where it's legal and bring your Apple Watch, because those things are going to get banned pretty soon. I guarantee it. They'll be out. You won't be able to do it.
That's
so
right.
Just put them on speaker and record.
Yeah, I remember in the past, I've been in situations where I wanted to record a phone call for important reasons, and I honestly could just not figure out a way to record a phone call I was having on an iPhone. And you hacked it. So you put your iPhone on speakerphone and you use the record function on your Apple Watch, and that recording will sync to your voice memos on your phone. And for you under the radar folks, if you send us any of these recordings, we'll go through them and edit out anything that's identifying. I mean, unless your voice alone is so identifying that you wouldn't want to do such a thing. And that's a valid concern. And that's a pretty damn good valid concern, actually. I mean,
but just even start recording for the future when you are out, because it's going to happen. It's going to happen eventually. But yeah, definitely do it. I know. Isn't that amazing that I figured that out, but I don't know how to put air in a tire? That's wild that I knew how to do that. Yeah.
There you go. So, what have you been thinking of all this Danny Masterson coverage? Because you yourself have had a history in Scientology of, being the victim of such acts. And we've sort of discussed it before, but like I say, the internet has no memory. We could have discussed something 3 months ago. Nobody knows about it. Nobody remembers. Nobody listened to it. Nobody heard it. That's the safe assumption I always make when discussing things in my videos. I just assume nobody's ever heard me talk about this before ever. And I act accordingly. So
especially hold on, Aaron, before we get into that, especially because you've got a whole new milestone of followers. Goldie told me last night you hit 200,000.
I did hit 200,000 subscribers.
That's amazing. I was a little embarrassed last night that I was celebrating my 10,000 when Goldie was like, Aaron's at 200. And I was like, okay, everybody have a good night. We're going to sign off. I was like, all right.
I got to tell you, Reese, hitting 10,000 is a bigger deal. Going from zero to 10,000 is a bigger deal than going from 100,000 to 200,000. It really is. It is, honestly. No, it is. The growth in the early stages of a channel, I think, are much, much more important and harder. Those are harder gains.
Okay. I'll see if I agree with you when I hit 200,000. We'll see. We'll go back to this moment. No, but really, Aaron, that's a big deal, and I'm really proud of you. That's awesome. I can answer your question, but I did want to tell everybody that, guys, that's a huge deal. He's a big deal now.
Thank you.
It's amazing. You know, I was going to talk about, we only have about an hour because we have this fundraiser, but I think we should carry this into another live because I do have a lot of catching up to do on the Masterson stuff, and who better than you to talk about it? I know my sister and I were talking about it when I was in Nashville. I mean, I only know the basics probably. He got a life sentence. Right?
Yeah, it's a life sentence with 30 years minimum before eligible for parole. And I guess if he's on perfect behavior and doesn't get into any altercations, and by getting into altercations, that means other people going after him, because as Tommy Scoville has explained, unless he just gets attacked from behind, anyone who goes after him and initiates some sort of confrontation with him, the prison system is like, you both did it. So if he has a perfect record, perfect behavior, doesn't get into any altercations, I believe it's possible he could be eligible for parole after like 25 and a half years, whatever it is. The point is he doesn't get out after 30 years. He's sentenced to life in prison, eligible for parole after 30 years.
I see. So he may not even.
Yeah, it doesn't mean he gets out after 30 years. It doesn't mean he gets parole after 30 years. It means he's not even eligible. He's not even considered for parole. But here's one of the biggest things the parole board takes into consideration. Has he showed any remorse whatsoever? Is he still saying I didn't do it? He doesn't walk out of prison after 30 years.
And that's wonderful too. And I only know this from watching some shows. The parole board is like really tight, right? Like serious about that as well. Like you have to go for your hearing. And is that true, or is that just stuff I've seen on TV? Like they really take into, like you just said, take into account, are you remorseful? How much change have you made here? Like, right? Progress.
Right. Yeah.
Have you reformed?
Yeah. You know, that is, me and Tommy have discussed this a lot. And if he continues, like as of right now, right, he still has an option to appeal, and almost for certainly he's going to appeal. So during that process, it's not crazy that he hasn't come out and been like, okay, fine, I did it. I'm sorry. I'm remorseful. Because how are you going to say that and then appeal? Mm-hmm. But after that appeal, after all those appeal options are exhausted, this might be a good follow-up conversation for me and Tommy to have, is what if he's on excellent behavior for the next 30 years, which honestly, let's be honest, guys, 30 years, he ain't going to survive 30 years. 30 years is the life sentence on its own.
When you say that, do you mean like because he will take care of it himself?
Either one. There ain't no way this guy's surviving 30 years in prison. I mean, Danny, for a variety of reasons, one of which being Danny seems to be a true believer in Scientology, even though he never did much of Scientology's bridge. But you or I never did much of Scientology's bridge either, and we were true believers. He believes that if you drop this body, you just go and pick up another body. So what's the big deal? If he's actually confronting, truly comes to term and confronts and accepts the reality that he ain't getting out of that box for at least 30 years, I don't think Danny decides to try to make it through the 30 years.
I think that's true.
And I don't know that someone in his position, even if he wanted to make it through the 30 years, would be allowed by his fellow inmates to make it 30 years. That's just my opinion.
I totally feel that way too. I was going to ask you, because of his low-key celeb status, I don't think that guy is much of a celebrity, but he is a celebrity. Will he get special treatment?
So the way Tommy Scoville has explained it is that people who are in prison, who are convicted of the type of crimes that he's convicted of, are on what Tommy says is NC status. You've got nothing coming. which means people in the system, other prisoners, will actually get in trouble. And by in trouble, I mean face the potential of physical violence from other prisoners for doing favors for someone who's got nothing coming. Nothing coming means no one here is going to do anything for you, and we're not going to let anyone in here do anything for you. And the way Tommy has described it is that Danny's family members will almost certainly be having to pay people on the street in the outside world to keep Danny safe. Now that sounds like paying for protection. It's not paying for protection. It's pay us to not hurt you this week. You have your person on the outside, pay my person on the outside. And as long as that money's coming, we won't hurt you. But that doesn't mean we'll protect you. It means you're paying us not to hurt you.
That's crazy. That really happens. That's why I feed the coyote in my backyard hot dogs all day, because he says, I won't eat your dog if you keep paying me in hot dogs. You're safe from the pack if these keep coming, lady. He does it. He even has like a mafia accent, and he's like, I'll hold the rest back if you keep buying these wieners. So it really does happen, not only in the animal kingdom. That's fascinating.
Well, that's something that the coyote and Danny will have in common. They both are going to be eating a lot of wieners.
I just spit on my computer.
Consensually, guys. Consensually. I'm not advocating for non-consensual activity. I'm consensual. Nothing wrong with being gay for the stay. Okay.
No, nothing wrong with that. And nothing wrong with feeding the wild so they don't kill my dog.
I do not judge. I do not judge.
That's crazy. Just wipe all this off here. That's crazy. Okay. So we're caught up there. And then my sister caught me up on this douche, Ashton Kutcher. I never liked him anyway. Did you ever like him? I never liked that guy. I always thought he was really narcissistic. He seemed that way to me.
To me, Ashton Kutcher's just been a guy that's there. I've never been a fan or not a fan particularly. I just personally never really watched that 70s show. I don't know that I've ever sat down and seen a full episode.
Never watched it. He just always seemed like such a dick swinger to me. Was he in Scientology, or did he dip in it like Will Smith? I feel like he just did a little bit, like maybe a service or two.
Everyone who I've spoken to, because I never knew Danny, I never knew Ashton. I was never at the Celebrity Center. Everyone I've spoken to who knows says no, like Ashton did not do courses. He did not get auditing. He was not in Scientology, but like all of his, most of his closest friends were Scientologists. Even his personal assistant was a Scientologist. I've even spoken on the phone with that guy. He's always been into other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like he was raised, I don't want to get it wrong. I feel like he was raised in a conservative Christian environment, but someone could fact check me on that. But then he was into the whole Kabbalah thing. I don't know if that predated Demi Moore, his relationship with Demi Moore, but I think he was in that. He was definitely in that with Demi. It's hard for me to truly understand because you and I know how much Scientologists usually will push their close friends to, dip their toe into Scientology.
Absolutely. Even Leah said that about Kevin James. Like, why aren't you bringing him in?
That's right. And the thing with Ashton is not only Ashton, but the other co-stars of that 70s show, Laura Prepon, who did get into Scientology, because Laura Prepon was with Danny's brother, Chris. They were in a relationship living together for a long, 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 long time.
Okay.
And for me, a long time when she's no longer in. For me, a long time when you're young is years,
Yeah.
But like all those co-stars, the kids, they would do the annual Christmas show together at the Celebrity Center. Like, there's no way in my mind the president's office didn't at least have their sights on Ashton. And, the president of the Celebrity Center at that time was Susan Watson. Her son, Luke Watson, was one of Danny's hangers-on, close friends. It seemed like Luke, I've always thought of Luke as sort of a Scientology's little spy into the celebrities' lives. Most people I speak to who are at the Celebrity Center don't see it that way. But it seems to me like, what are you talking about? You got the president of the Celebrity Center and you have her son, who's like a constant fixture in the social lives and professional lives of all these celebrities. How could he not have been Scientology's little spy? I don't know. But most people I speak to don't really think of him that way. But the original question here was, did he ever do Scientology? Someone told me that at one point he was in a relationship that was going bad, and one of his Scientology friends, who was an auditor and trained how to do Scientology marriage counseling, did some Scientology marriage counseling on Ashton and his girlfriend, even though they weren't married. Again, I've had other people who were close to Ashton tell me that's a bullshit story and that didn't occur. So I don't know what the truth is on that. But what I do know is, from everyone I've spoken with who would know, Ashton was never in Scientology and didn't even really dabble. So good for him, I guess, for that. But it's almost like, even without being a Scientologist, he still protected Danny. He still protected Danny just as much as a fellow Scientologist would have protected Danny. So
yeah, I find it hard to believe. I feel like, even, do you remember? I feel like even being back in Scientology, that was kind of a little bit of a rumor. You know, if there's any kind of a barely even celeb that could possibly be doing it, I feel like they kind of showcase that. So like, did you know that?
Well, and here's where it gets crazy. When I was at Flag from like 93 to 96, the rumor was absolutely that Bruce Willis was getting auditing at Flag. That was the rumor, that Bruce Willis and Demi Moore were getting auditing at Flag. And I don't know where those rumors come from, but they usually don't come from nowhere. That's a stupid statement.
I feel like I remember Demi Moore, but I don't remember that about Bruce Willis. But I do remember that about her.
Yeah, but I've never heard anyone say that Ashton actually got auditing, except for that marriage counseling rumor. And even that marriage counseling, the rumor that was shared with me at least, was that even that didn't occur at the Celebrity Center or in an org. It was just like at his friend's house, if it's true.
I feel like it's probably more true than not, though. Not that we can speak to it. We don't know. But just knowing that he worked with Laura Prepon and Danny Masterson. I mean, didn't Will and Jada Smith like dabble a little bit?
Jada dabbled more than a lot. I mean, I'm told Jada finished all of her grades at least. Jada got other people into Scientology. You know that the old Martin Lawrence show? Martin Lawrence.
Yeah. I know who that is. Yeah.
What the actress that played his wife?
I couldn't go back. I don't know.
I'm gonna Google it. I want to say her name. Well, her name in the show was Gina. As any fans of the show,
I remember that. Now I remember that.
Martin Lawrence
long time ago.
Tisha Campbell. I'm told that Jada Smith got Tisha Campbell into Scientology. And everyone who was there at the time has said to me, because again, I've never met Will, I've never met Jada, that Jada was much more committed to it than Will was. But Will was also besties with Tom Cruise at this time. So do you remember that? I remember when Will Smith started constantly name dropping Tom Cruise in his own interviews, promoting his own movies.
Yep, I remember that.
And I was like, oh, there's a reason he's promoting Tom Cruise. And you know, of course, Will and Jada opened that Scientology school, and you can't open a Scientology school, an applied scholastic school. You can't do that and be getting your grades and be getting other people into Scientology and be besties with Tom Cruise, but we're not really Scientologists. We're students of all world religion. I hate that line.
Yeah. I do too.
Students of world religion. Yeah. You come across as real scholars, the two of you. Real scholars.
Yeah. I do remember that. I do remember, this was a while back, but I remember like some talking of Ashton Kutcher being in Scientology. I also remember someone telling me, so it could be totally wrong, because I remember people saying Jennifer Aniston at one point did a little bit, and Steven Spielberg. And I was like, really? And the person who told me that was a Nashville staff member, and he was like, oh, there's way more celebs that are in than you realize, but they want to stay under the radar because they don't want all the questions.
Yeah.
Aaron, nobody's ever asked me that before.
Put your manners back in.
You know what you did. Take responsibility.
I called Reese before I did the Andrew Cuomo segment the other day, and I said, Reese, if I thought Chris Cuomo, sorry.
Yeah.
I said, if I thought Chris would get the joke, I was going to hit him with now you're crossing a line, and you know it. Put your manners
Take responsibility for what you want to know. Well, people want to know.
I knew it would screw up the whole bit, though.
I know. I really wanted you to do it. And I told him, I said, I won't be there to cushion the blow. Like, if nobody knows and it's awkward, Aaron doesn't like dead air, I would be there as his wingman to cushion that, but I was like, yeah, best probably not to, but we can talk about it.
Yeah. So the thing you mentioned, Brad Pitt and Jennifer Aniston. I've never heard the Jennifer Aniston rumor, but the Brad Pitt thing was real because Brad Pitt was going out with Juliette Lewis when Juliette was both doing drugs and the Purification Rundown at Flag at the same time.
That's the best way to do it. You want to do the drugs and get the toxins out at the same time. That's smart of her.
They call that the Lisa Marie Presley strategy.
That's smart.
and Brad Pitt came to Flag with Juliette, and someone might want to fact check me on this, but I do believe Brad did the Purif. And but when you hear people like you mentioned someone at Nashville, was that Nashville or the Celebrity Center Nashville? The rumor that you were talking
Nashville CC, because they only have one.
Is that right? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So when someone at a Celebrity Center says that, I think that they are being very loose in their interpretation of what they think a Scientologist is. Like anybody who walks in the front door and reads a book, or honestly, someone who does the Purif. Anybody can do the Purif. If I'm a Scientologist and a celebrity is doing the Purif, I'm probably going to tell everyone that celebrity is now a Scientologist. But the truth is, doing the Purification Rundown doesn't make you a Scientologist. You're just sitting in a sauna and taking vitamins. You don't even have to be listening to LRH lectures or reading LRH books. Someone literally could just have tricked you into doing this detox program. I mean, everyone knows how popular detoxes are. I'm doing a liver detox. I'm doing a juice cleanse. I'm doing this. I'm doing that.
Yeah.
Anybody, any celebrity in Hollywood could be tricked. Maybe not these days, but tricked into doing the Purification Rundown, particularly at the Celebrity Center. And everyone's gonna be like, oh, this person's a Scientologist now.
It's weird that they brag about that, like you just said, but they don't ever highlight Charles Manson doing. How come that never comes up? Because he did courses in the 70s.
It annoys me to no end when people talk about Charles Manson and Scientology. It annoys me to no end. All right, I'm going to tell you, people, a lot has been made over the fact that while Charles Manson was in prison, there was another inmate who happened to already be a Scientology auditor. And the report is, and I do believe this report, that Charles Manson got about 150 hours of what is essentially lower level introductory Scientology auditing. Now, I don't know. Let me know if you agree with this. Getting auditing. You might not even know what it is you're getting. Getting auditing doesn't make you a Scientologist necessarily. Okay, if you got 150 hours of auditing in a Scientology organization, I'm sorry, you're a Scientologist whether you know it or not. But if you're in prison and some dude in prison is giving you introductory, non-metered auditing, that does not make you a Scientologist. Now, it does mean you've had Scientology auditing. I go, so what? Who gives a shit? This wasn't even now old time, like back in the old days before L. Ron Hubbard started using the e-meter, a lot of auditing didn't involve the e-meter. But these days, there's the only auditing that doesn't require a meter is lower level introductory auditing,
like or the
type of auditing that's not even on the bridge. Like there's no auditing on the bridge that doesn't use the e-meter. Right. Like these days, book one auditing is considered introductory auditing. You cannot go clear on book one auditing these days. They don't let you. They consider it doesn't count.
I was a Scientologist for 38 years. I don't think I ever had book one auditing.
Yeah. I had like 6 hours of it when I was a kid.
Yeah. I probably had more self-analysis.
Yeah. Book one auditing refers to the auditing procedure in the book Dianetics, which is completely different than the procedure that's actually used in Scientology these days for Dianetics auditing.
Right.
The other thought that I had on this is I even saw Tony Ortega compare the fact that John Atack reached the level of OT5 and claims that he got to OT5 with less than 150 hours of auditing and was somehow using that as a comparison for how significant it was that Charles Manson had 150 hours of auditing. Guys, I had some people do 150 hours on the Purification Rundown. Oh shit, your microphone died again. Go ahead, just unplug it, unplug it back in because it was working for a good spell there.
Okay, but you can hear me because I'm on the Mac.
I know, but I can't. That's no good.
I know. It really gets under your skin.
That's no good.
Okay.
Here, while you're messing with the mic, I'll flash up some of these super chats. Shelly Swanson, lovely to see you two together again. Thank you. Couch, I saw Reese's face in the thumbnail and also double agent and almost pooped my pants. Yeah, Reese, I titled my video Live with Scientology Double Agent. Reese.
Oh, that's fancy. I like it. It's not working, dude.
It'll work. It worked last time. It'll work. Free Xenu project. There are apps so you can record all calls on Android phones, but not sure about Apple phones. Yeah, I mean, unless you got some sort of a jailbroken iPhone, I'm pretty sure that ain't working on an iPhone. Let's see. Where is Goldie?
Is it back?
Yeah, it's back. Up. Now it's off again. Go ahead, do the restart. It's okay. We got time. We're not going anywhere.
Oh, but Aaron, why is it doing that? This is like a $400 microphone.
Yeah, we should we'll have to figure out.
This is bent.
Okay, yeah, it's your USB connector, and those cables are very, very cheap, and we can get a new one. Where is Goldie? She has coffee. Is Goldie in the chat? Goldie, she must be in the chat. There she is. Goldie's here. Broken Pencil. Thank you for the super sticker. Michelle, okay, I finally get to see you live. Okay, good. You're good. Yeah, I knew it was just a connection thing. I finally get to see you live. Reese, I hope you finally got my merch email. Aaron, love your truth and integrity. Well, thank you, Michelle. Kathy Ann says, Reese, you and Jeff look great last night. Aaron, love the t-shirt flashback. Great to see you both. Thank you very much. Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah, I don't want to talk about Charles Manson forever. It's funny to troll Scientology.
We'll never do it again.
No. I mean, to me, it's hilarious to troll Scientology by being like, Charles Manson even thought you guys were too crazy. But people actually think it's like an actual legit thing. Like they think he was actually a Scientologist. And I'm just here to say, getting 150 hours of introductory auditing in prison does not make you a Scientologist. That's all I'm saying.
Does not a Scientologist make, guys.
It doesn't even mean that he knows anything about Scientology. Like, I've never heard anyone say what books he read in there. He can't do training in prison. You can't do Scientology training in prison. You can read books, but I've never heard anybody say what books were in there or if there were even any Scientology books in there.
Yeah, so, I get it.
Anyway, I don't know why it bothers me so much, but it does.
We'll have to do a deep dive about that sometime.
Yes, exactly. What the hell were we talking about?
Well, you were doing super chats. Did you do them?
No, there's more, but what were we talking about?
I'm just trying to stay the hell away from this mic. Like, I don't want to touch anything.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, let's see.
No,
let's
I got
tackle
all distracted
some of these
about this stupid microphone.
By the way, guys, in 28 minutes, me and Mark and Claire and Matt and Amy and Mike and maybe Christy are going to be doing a live stream, a simultaneous live stream on all of our channels together as a fundraiser for the Aftermath Foundation. And this live stream will redirect to that live stream for those of you who want to join that.
That's cool.
Yeah. Skipper, the geriatric Chihuahua. Oh my God, I love that name.
I do too. I said that last night. He came into my chat.
Have you noticed the uptake in mainstream press regarding Ashton Kutcher? Oh yeah, I mean, it's been everywhere. Yeah. SP might be bad English, not my first. Oh, what? Okay, I saw it on the AP, CNN, and another. Have to look besides you all, guys. It's been everywhere. It's been incredible. And I know some people, anyway, that's fine. Joni Cummings, only because Reese, I love you, dear sis. Shark Week is off. Cooter hate. Oh, Jesus. You read this one.
You already got to it. You said the C word. Keep going.
Go ahead. It's you.
Cooter hates me. Sorry. See, she even apologized. We'll be lurking. Love everyone. Aaron, I thought we flattened this button.
It's got to be in a context.
We got to do a deep dive.
Freezy new project. Okay, you two, put the fax machines aside. Yes.
Just the fax, Dan.
Have you got any fax slinging merch or anything like that? You got any t-shirts?
No, but we need to talk about, everybody's asking me about merch and I don't really know what any of that means or how to do it. So
okay, I'll send you the link to Fourth Wall. I'll send you the link.
Okay, but I also need you to hold my hand through it because I don't know how to do anything.
No problem. Jeff can help too because he's good with that stuff too.
But he's old.
Maija, aka Alice in Art Supply Hoarderland. Danny Masterson can consider himself promoted to a Sea Org member, shipped off to the growing old base, the gold base. There you go. Loretto Lacoyo. Aaron, you've been inspiring to continue a YouTube channel I started 3 years ago. I only got 16 subscribers in a few weeks, so I gave up. And now you've inspired me to go back. So thank you. Love you both. Yeah.
Love you, Loretto. I love her.
Yeah, definitely pick it back up. Rob says, Reese, I see you flashing the infamous Apple Watch. Love the big hair. So glad I finally caught you live.
Thank you, Rob. It looks like I swallowed a hand grenade. I'm glad you like it.
Okay, Barb says, when do you think we'll hear anything about where Danny Masterson is incarcerated or see a mug shot? I was told that we would be getting a mug shot after the trial ended, and we haven't seen anything. Now, I haven't gone on to any of these online databases and looked, but for all
like
you
public record, right?
It is public record. It should be public record. For all you super sleuths out there, I actually saw there was some image floating around that it turned out to be photoshopped. It made it look like he'd taken a mugshot with a suit on, and that was not true. That was a Photoshop thing. So any of you super sleuths out there, if you find the information which prison has Danny been sent to, and the mugshot, yeah, I got to see that.
I want to see it.
701. Finally, the SPTV Dream Team is back. Thank you, Aaron and Reese.
Yes, I'm really happy to be back with them, guys.
Okay, this one. Which star in Nashville is in Scientology? So were you like at the Celebrity Center Nashville for a while?
Just want to go to Nashville. My parents live in Nashville, so no one on that side of my family is a Scientologist, but when I would go to Nashville, I was like, oh, I got to go visit the org. And it was empty every time, but it was an ideal org. It was the new. In Kansas City, we didn't have that yet. So I was like, I got to go see it. And so I would go visit.
I have always wondered what celebrities could possibly be at the Celebrity Center Nashville. I've never heard of any celebrity that was like a CC Nashville public. Were there any that you knew of?
No, I was just going to say, I don't know if any. Most celebrities in Nashville are kind of country music. And do you know anybody that's in country music?
Who's in science? Not a single one. Like, it's amazing to me there even is a CC Nashville. I mean, it's even been amazing to me that there's a Celebrity Center Las Vegas. But I think even that one, if I'm not mistaken,
that's right,
was
there is
closed and combined. I might be getting it wrong. I know the Celebrity Center London was closed and combined with the London org. And I thought the same was true for the Celebrity Center Las Vegas, but now I'm questioning myself. But like now the truth is there were some Las Vegas performers who are famous really only in Las Vegas. My friend Nathan Saronin, who's passed away now, his parents were very successful Las Vegas performers. They were Sonny and Cher impersonators.
That's cool.
Yeah, they were a big deal. They donated tons and tons of money to Scientology, and they were like the only sort of celebrities who were in Scientology in Vegas that I knew of.
Okay.
But no one.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you. I mean, really, nobody is that famous that's in Scientology anymore. They've a lot of them have died, sadly. Juliette Lewis is still in, isn't she? We talked about this.
She definitely is.
Okay. Otherwise, I feel like who was that guy that was in Almost Famous? Jason something?
Jason Lee.
I loved him, and he's not in anymore, from what I was told.
He is not in anymore.
And I'm so happy because it made me love him more. I really like that guy. There's not a lot of famous people. Of course, the Elfmans, but I don't really consider them famous. I don't feel like she was ever a big deal.
I mean, she was a big deal when she had her network show, Dharma and Greg, and then she had a couple great movies with Ben Stiller and Ed Norton.
Oh, she did. That's right. That Faith movie. What was that?
Keeping the Faith. That was a great movie.
I loved that movie. Oh, I kind of want to watch that. I love Edward Norton.
I thought that she had, let me pull her up real quick, that had landed some new role. Even
I don't
on
like
a show.
Bodhi. I never liked Bodhi Elfman. He's so wormy.
I don't know how those two have been together this whole time. It seems like she could do so much better.
Yeah, she's cute.
I'm looking up her IMDb right now to see. Oh, was she in Fear the Walking Dead? Oh, okay. But like, I've never even seen that. Is that different than The Walking Dead?
I never saw it. I don't know. I just never considered her to be that huge. Now, Bodhi Elfman's relation, who's he related to that is pretty big? Danny Elfman. Is he a Scientologist?
I don't believe so.
Yeah, I don't think he was or is.
And I think he's Danny's nephew. He's not Danny's son.
That's right. Yeah, they're not super related. That's right. Yeah.
I mean, let's be when you're the star of your own primetime network show, you're a big deal. Don't you agree?
Well, if we're talking about you, yes.
Well, in the TV world, it's hard to be a bigger deal than being a star of your own primetime network show.
Yeah, but I mean, was that big of a show? It wasn't like Friends.
To me, my generation, whatever that is, how old are you again?
39. We're pretty close.
Oh, okay. I'm 42. It was a big deal. I mean, it was. That is one show I did watch a lot of because I thought she was great. She was hilarious.
I watched it a few times. I never watched that 70s show, but I did watch that show.
Yeah, but then she became a super Tom Cruise acolyte, if that's the right word. Someone told me that she actually, in one of her Scientology handlings, came to realize that her purpose in life was to help Tom Cruise.
Oh my God, that's gross. Are they even friends? He probably doesn't even talk to her. I'm
sure he doesn't talk to her.
He's like, get out of here. Nobody's ever asked me that before. You're crossing a line.
He's like, Jenna who? Huh? Jenna from the 90s,
and then
huh?
Kirstie Alley died. I mean, there's not that many. And then John Travolta's wife died.
Mm-hmm.
Which I really liked Kelly Preston. I thought she was a really pretty lady. She seemed like a nice lady. I don't know anything about her, but
it seems like there's more Scientologists dying than there are people getting into Scientology.
Was Isaac Hayes, did he die when he was in it? He did not ever leave it, right? He stayed in, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's just not that many guys. It just seems like they've kind of fizzled out.
It's true. I mean, it's so toxic. I mean, can you imagine even as a celebrity, I feel like even it becoming known that one is a Scientologist would be damaging to one's career.
Kill your career. I would think so. Beck, he said he was out, right?
Yep. He's out. He pretends he was never in, but he was, but he is out. He was out. Yeah, it's not a good time to be a Scientologist, particularly
Giovanni Ribisi. Giovanni Ribisi is still a Scientologist, right?
He is still a Scientologist. What's incredible, and I have some information, I'm gonna have to go through it and figure out what I can share and what I cannot, but one of the remarkable things about Giovanni having written a letter of support for Danny is Giovanni Ribisi hates Danny Masterson's guts, hates the guy, absolutely hates the guy. And we're far enough into the video that I can say this. Giovanni's twin is Marissa Ribisi. His twin sister is Marissa. Mm-hmm. Now, one of the friends of their friend group was in a relationship with Marissa and secretly recorded a sex tape with him and Marissa, a guy who was dating Marissa. And that tape was circulated around amongst Danny's friends. And the person who shared this story with me believes Marissa Ribisi may not even to this day be aware that she was filmed by her boyfriend at that time.
That's fucked
and
up.
that video of her was circulated amongst Danny's friends. And
oh my God.
And Marissa and Giovanni both wrote letters to the judge vouching for the outstanding character of Danny Masterson.
That's gross. Wow. I did not know that.
Yeah.
You know who else I thought of that's a celebrity and he's still a Scientologist, I think, and I like him. I don't know a lot about him, but I liked him in that movie Crash. Jose, is it Pena? Was that his name? Oh, Michael Pena.
Why are you calling him Jose? Seems kind of racist. She's like, what country is Jose Pena from? He's like, I'm from Los Angeles. Jose, arriba. What, because he's brown? Racist?
You're dicky. I thought his name was Jose.
Hey, Jose. My name's Michael. Can we get some bread? He's like, I don't work here, ma'am. I don't work here.
Can you park my car? That's awful. I thought his name was Jose. I thought his name was Jose Pena. Aaron, that was dicky. I really thought that. I feel bad. That was awful.
At this point, I actually feel that Michael Pena might be one of the biggest stars who's actually a working actor. I don't know, but I seem to think that Michael is a bigger celebrity than other people do. I think he's a huge celebrity because he's been in huge movies. And I'm trying to think, but I also think Giovanni Ribisi is a huge celebrity.
No, he's not.
He was in Avatar. It's like the top grossing movie of all time. He's one of the main figures. I loved Avatar. I haven't seen the new one. I haven't seen the new one. Are you leaving?
Bye.
Bye, Jeff.
Ooh, you smell amazing. Take off your pants. Whenever I smell a good cologne, I'm like, rip that off, sir, even if it's a stranger. That happened to me on the airplane. I don't think of that guy. I don't think of that guy as that famous. Giovanni Ribisi. He was in that. Those candy corns are killer.
He was in the Mod Squad.
I don't know what that is.
It was with Claire Danes. But that's old. That's old. That's old. For me, the fact.
Did you see that movie Crash?
He was in Saving Private Ryan. I loved the movie Crash.
So did I. I love that movie. I mean, I really cried in that movie a lot. Everybody played a good character in that movie. Do you remember that? Like everybody really rock and rolled.
I thought it was incredible.
I just loved it. But did you cry?
Probably.
Like when Matt Dillon saved the lady under the car?
Probably.
When the car was burning?
Was that Tandy Newton? Was Tandy Newton in that too?
I'm assuming so. Feels right. That was a great movie. Paul Haggis did that.
That's right. That's right. Oh, wait, I'm going to try. I want to share a little bit more about this secretly recorded thing.
Love you.
Oh, a guy named Scott Kahn, C-A-A-N, was Scott Kahn, C-A-A-N, was in a relationship with Marissa, and he's the one who secretly set up a camera in his room in the closet and recorded him and Marissa having relations and shared that video.
Oh my God.
He shared that video with Danny and even Marissa's best friend, Bree Schaefer, and a few other close friends, and they all laughed at Marissa. And this person says,
much worse.
I doubt that Marissa ever knew that she was violated in such a way, and that her closest friends not only knew about it, but watched the video and laughed at her behind her back.
There's really not a lot worse than that.
Pretty much nothing worse than that.
That's awful.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's really terrible, and it makes me sad.
I'm nervous because we got 13 minutes left and we have 17 super chats in the queue. So let's
start.
Rock and roll. Does pacemakers and implants interfere with the e-meters? That's a really good question. Having a pacemaker might possibly make you ineligible for auditing. You might be considered too much of a medical risk to get auditing. Someone could fact check me on that. I cannot think of an instance of that coming up, but having heart problems usually means keep this guy away from the org.
Pretty much. You can't do a Purif even.
Yeah, nobody wants anybody dropping dead on a Scientology property. God forbid they got some bad press out of it. Spilling tea with Spunky Sparky. I really wish you would look into Russell Brand. I'll tell you what, if it had anything to do with Scientology, I would, but otherwise it's a little off topic for me. The Robert Network, 60 Minutes Australia, did an interview with the journalist who dropped the Ashton letters. Nobody dropped the Ashton letters. They're public filings. I had them Thursday evening. Nobody leaked these letters. They're publicly available documents, but I appreciate the comment. Not intended. None of my ire is directed at you, Robert. Lady Funky?
Funky tea?
Saw you on Lawyer Chick. Love your content. What is KUT? Keep up the good work.
What?
Yeah, I did. I was on a channel called Natalie Lawyer Chick, and she is fantastic. I loved everything about my chat with her. She is such a pleasure to speak with. She's so chill and relaxed and calm and not pretentious in any way. Really, really loved talking with her and hope to do so again. More people talking about presidency. I too support AA run for president. Go Lions.
What?
No,
I've really missed a lot.
It's just a joke. Kat, AC/DC fan. Great to see you both together. Thank you so much.
Love you, Kat.
Leslie Walker, I sent you an email with Scientology Body Thetan fan fiction. I'm sure you've been too busy to see, but I'd love to share it with you and your audience if you like it. Leslie, I did get that. It was long, so I didn't read the whole thing. but I did read part of it. I can't even read all my emails these days, you guys. So anything over several hundred words gets a quick little
Aaron.
Well, it's just truth. I mean, I don't even answer all my text messages. And for me, that's unheard of. I'm someone, my top priority in life used to be returning every phone call, every text message, every email. It's like, that was something I carried over from Scientology.
You're bigger than the Elfmans now.
The Elfmans. Uh-oh, John Sostovsky, this one's for you.
No, it's for you.
The Cutarini.
There you go. He did it, John. Thanks for that.
You need the fax slinging slasher merch.
We do.
And it should just say, just the facts, Dan. Or, not the facts, Dan.
Not the facts, Dan. I kind of like that one better.
Mickey, Reese, I need a shark t-shirt, but shark has no teeth to symbolize menopause. I'm 7'3" as well. What's 7'3" mean?
7'3", maybe July 3rd, like their birthday? Because I'm July 8th. What do I know? I don't know. I grew up in an ice cube.
I think I know what it means, but I'm not going to say it. All right. Skeptic, just found your show and learning a lot. I'm a recovering Mormon, and it's lightweight compared to what you guys went through. Amazing. You can still laugh. Hopefully you will continue to inspire others.
Thank you. It's all we can do is laugh.
I've been very seriously considering trying to talk to more former Mormons. Shalise Ann, I did a chat with Shalise Ann Sola, who's also having huge success and blowing up. They just broke 100,000 subscribers over on Shalise's channel. Actually, you might really like talking to Shalise.
Probably.
Do you even know who I'm talking about?
No, but I like to chat with people.
Shalise is such a pleasure to speak with. When just Google Shalise, you can't miss it.
Okay. All right.
It's a very unique name. Allison Nelson, the only consolation prize for Danny Masterson is he won't get picked off as fast as if he was a convicted kitty diddler. Yes, that's true. There's levels to that game. As Grant Cardone would say, how come they never told me there was another level? There's levels to this game. How come they never told us about this level?
Oh my God, what a dick swinger.
How come they never?
He's the worst.
I never knew about this level. Yeah,
that's a swinging dick.
Because everyone's worrying about the 300-foot yacht in Monte Carlo level. Yeah. But anyway, yeah. Okay. That's enough, Grant Cardone. Broken Pencil. Hey, Aaron, would you condone me trolling my local Church of Scientology, like maybe some college-style prank calls, or is that a no-no from you? So in general, I'm not in favor of harassment because it doesn't accomplish anything. There is this one guy in Hollywood. He has a Twitter. He has a Twitter channel. I think he's got a YouTube channel as well. And it's called either Film the Police or Film the Police LA, one of those things. And I've been wanting to highlight some of his content. I hesitate to do so because he's way more aggressive and confrontational than I would ever encourage anybody to be. And I don't condone being aggressive and confrontational with Scientologists. But there is something he's doing that is very, very effective. And if somebody could do it in a less aggressive, confrontational way, I would be a huge fan. He stands outside of the test center on Hollywood Boulevard. And this is because Scientology did something else to piss this guy off a few months ago. He stands outside the test center where there's like 3 Sea Org members full time handing out personality test flyers and film flyers and trying to get people to come into the building. And he just stands there full time with a camera being like, following them around because they're on a public sidewalk. You can do whatever you want, like as long as you're not committing a crime. And he's like, don't go in there. It's a cult. It's a cult. They're trying to get your money. Don't go in there. Careful. It's a cult. It's a cult. Don't take that. Don't take that. It's a cult. It's a cult. It's a cult. And it's so effective. It's so effective.
I wish I would have done that at that fair I was at with the Dianetics tent.
So that's exactly what I'm talking about. Like if people knew that if you see a table with Dianetics books and e-meters set up, or you see people outside of a Scientology organization just handing out stuff, and if you want to stand there next to the person on the sidewalk, politely, calmly, not insulting them, not yelling at them, and just everyone who comes by be like, just be careful. This is a cult. They destroy families. And this is really Scientology and it's a cult. You don't want to go in there. I would completely support that. And in fact, I wish more people would do that because the only people who do it and post it to the internet seem to be people that are being very aggressive and kind of angry. And I don't like to promote or condone that behavior.
Totally. I agree with that 100%.
Yeah. But I cannot deny the guy's being effective.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Okay. Freezing New Project. Aaron and Reese, do you think most who wrote letters. Wait. Do you think most who wrote letters, Scientology has dirt on them? Well, the truth is Scientology has dirt on all of their members. I don't think people were just straight up blackmailed to write the letters. I think Giovanni Ribisi is an interesting example because, as I've been told, Giovanni Ribisi hates Danny Masterson's guts, but he still wrote that letter. So there had to be some of the motivation to write that letter. And I'm not sure that I've fully come to terms with what I think that motivation was. I do not think somebody threatened Giovanni Ribisi. I will say that for the record. Yeah. Barbara Mangano. I'm so glad I made this live with both of you. I've been looking forward to it.
Love you, Barb. Thank you.
Great to see you again, Barb. Aaliyah Aloha. Did the recent Mission Impossible movie underperform because of Tom Cruise and Scientology? His career doesn't seem impacted by it yet, although Top Gun Maverick's success was beyond Tom Cruise. I do wonder what was behind the underperformance of the Tom Cruise movie. I think if we're being fair, one of the reasons it underperformed is because the movie cost an ungodly amount of money. And so the bar was pretty high for what would be considered a good box office. By all normal standards, it was a success. By the standards of how much the movie cost, it wasn't a huge success.
Do you know I've never seen one of those movies?
Really?
Fuck no. I've never seen Star Wars either. I have to say that, but that has nothing to do with Scientology. But I just can't stand Tom Cruise. I never liked him, not even being in Scientology.
Wow. So someone is asking, Scott Conn the actor? That's my understanding. I mean, I could be wrong on that. You know, if Scott Conn wants to sue me, I'll say, I don't know. Maybe it was another Scott Conn. But yes, I do believe it was Scott Conn the actor, and I could be wrong about that. So,
there you go.
Uh-oh. Scott Conn, son of James Conn, was in the car that drove Danny to the rape of the fourth victim in the first trial.
Wow.
So it really was James Conn's son.
Dang, that's awful.
Secretly recording someone like that without their permission, I'm pretty sure is a crime. Now, I guess the only saving grace is that video never leaked to the internet. So no one could really prove. That's not true. Somebody could still prove it. Anyway, I'm sure no one's looking to bark up that tree. Lori plays, I know, Aaron, you haven't read my last 2 to 3 emails. How do you know I haven't read them, Lori?
She's psychic. Love Lori.
But yes, I'm trying, guys. I'm really trying. Is Greta Van Susteren still in the cult? 100% she is.
I wondered that. Okay.
Yeah. And Joni Cummings says, Aaron for president and Reese for vice president. How is that? That sounds great. There you go.
We could change the world.
The Row Bear is back. Thanks for your channel and content. I'm new here. Is it possible that Scientology is involved with intelligence agencies? They operate similarly. This is going to be one of those things that is so conspiratorial and controversial that even anyone saying no is going to be evidence that the answer is yes. All I can say is this. Scientology is so incredibly paranoid about being infiltrated by intelligence agencies that it's impossible for me to conceive of a version of reality where Scientology was actually, unbeknownst to most, an actual tool of the intelligence agencies. So my answer to this question is no, but I know some others have different opinions on that.
Aaron, we have like 1 minute.
Yep, we do. We'll wrap it up here. Just my opinion says, greetings from Germany, where Scientology is watched by the government for their, let's say, unique views of religion. Love your conversations. Love your strength, Aaron, and your humor, Reese. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you. That's so nice.
Thank you. Ist ein wunderschöner Tag heute.
Oh, yes. I knew it was coming. I knew he was going to do it.
Kathy Womack, my favorite SP duo. It appears in the chat that you have a lot of ex-Mormon subscribers like me. Yeah, that's and the awesome. problem is I also have a lot of Mormon subscribers who see Scientology as a cult, but don't view their own group obviously the same way. And I've always said, my strength, my wheelhouse, my knowledge base is Scientology, and it always ends up being a mistake anytime I bring other groups into the conversation. But it just seems that there are so many former Mormons out there who have channels and stories very similar to former Scientologists that I feel like it will become appropriate to have some of those conversations on my channel. And no offense intended to, members of other groups.
Right. Aaron, is this going to automatically cut off?
No. I have to end it and then it will redirect to the other thing.
Okay.
So, all right, guys, we do have to end it because we're going to do the other thing here.
Yes.
Thank you, everyone, for watching.
Guys.
Thanks, everyone who watches until the very end. And I'm actually just going to hit the end button instead of my outro. So here we go.